There's so much noise in the streets. And I think a lot of people in the aftermath of fake news on social media, living through a pandemic, feel like there's just too much noise. I don't want to hear any shouting on the street. Thank you very much. I mean, do you say the same thing?
Yeah, no, I'd agree. And a lot of the shouting is about self-interest, comes from a place of fear, comes from a place of trying to renegotiate what power looks like from someone who feels disempowered. And some of that can be liberating, but some of it can be violent and oppressive as well. The thing about that text, wisdom shouts from the street, is it dares us to imagine wisdom as a person rather than some sort of idea. And that provocative idea of shouting is this wisdom demands our attention.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's times when we'd rather look away, but that wisdom is engaging us.
Yeah. And the Bible writers, the Hebrew in the Hebrew Bible, to place this wisdom as this lady, this woman who's most commonly used in the wisdom and prophetic literature as a person of bad character or ill repute, but here she is as the person that has the wisdom for the city. So she's unexpected. Yeah. She's not the person we thought was coming. She's not the kind of person we'd listen to for wisdom. And the danger, I think, for Christian communities centuries later is to take up these texts and assume that's us. We're wisdom in the street shouting out, we've got all the right things to say, when actually Lady Wisdom was largely yelling at the religious people. Yeah. She's asking them to listen to their calling of how they should behave in the city. So there's this interesting juxtaposition there that we assume we're one person in the text, but maybe that person, like the prophet Nathan, when he comes to David, saying, no, you are that man. Yeah. You're the one we're calling to.
Yeah, and especially for us, Janice, here in Brisbane CBD, we think that we're in the middle of the city, but where this has been recorded, we're 9 floors up.
Yeah.
So often wisdom needs to shout from the streets because we're not there. We're somewhere else. And I think it's a prophetic call to the church to be on the streets, to be able to hear what wisdom might be saying, rather than to retreat from the streets because we don't like what we're hearing. For me, wisdom has this sense of being organic. And again, it's that provocation in that text that being wisdom dwells within the body of a woman. And it's quite provocative in the way that text unfolds, that it's not about the intellect, or it's not about the heart. It's about which it can be thought of as, especially in the Old Testament, as quite masculine, properties and characteristics around courage or power or authority. But there's something just incredibly organic about this idea of wisdom that subverts all of that resides in the body of this woman who, and in Old Testament, Hebrew times, there's this mystery about the body of a woman that can give life and in ways that men can't understand or have power over. But there's this incredible wisdom that comes from that the woman is speaking, and you get the sense the woman is speaking to the men who won't listen, and shouting to the men who won't listen in a way that wants to cut through.
One of the things I think about in this relationship is intellect and cognitive abilities, being a smart, intelligent person, whatever that means. It pertains to knowing things about the world, but wisdom is knowing how to live in the world and have good relationships and good communities. And we all can think of examples of incredibly intelligent people that have never had a good, healthy relationship in their life. And that's where wisdom comes in. One of the interesting things about the word wisdom that comes up in multiple different languages when you translate it is this link to the idea of discernment, which is a pretty familiar word to us in the Uniting Church. Yeah. And it's the idea that, while wisdom is about how to be in the world, but it's also a communal dynamic. It's a how to be in the world with other people, because we're going to discern together.
Yeah.
And so when the community comes together and goes through this discernment process, wisdom, which is also linked to the Holy Spirit, emerges, and the voice of wisdom is heard.
Yeah, so there's that well-known truism, knowledge is power. I wonder, a way of thinking about wisdom is empowering. Like it's that sense of inviting people into a space together.
You know what I think of when we have this conversation about wisdom shouting in the streets and the contest of ideas that takes place in the town hall square and the noise that we've lived with, is that perhaps the wisdom we need for this age is about coming together in good faith, not trying to win a contest and drown each other out with whose idea is the best, or so-called cultural wars or ideological positions. But what would it mean for us to come together in good faith to try and build better communities, to understand each other, so that we're not contesting ideas, but we're willing to journey and explore together all the different ideas and how they can come together for better, more cohesive, caring societies of justice, which is, you know, what Lady Wisdom's calling. She's calling for justice. Yeah. She's not trying to win the debate. Yeah. She wants to see a city filled with the justice of God.
Yeah, and you know, when I reflect on that passage, my mind goes to a time. Wouldn't it be wonderful if wisdom didn't need to shout? Whether it could be, you know, a polite conversation, or perhaps even a whisper, where you lean in to hear what wisdom might be saying, rather than wisdom needing to shout to get our attention because it's going in all different places.
It's a great image, these two extremes that you get in the Hebrew Bible: the still small whisper of God that comes in the silence, and the prophet that shouts, and wisdom who shouts. And we have to find ways to hear God in both of those spaces.
Yeah.